Hello, my name is Henriette and welcome back to my channel. If you're new, I'd love to have you here. Valentine's Day is coming up soon, so I thought I'd have a look at what I already had. And I'm afraid it doesn't amount to much. I have been out shopping and I have got a few new items, but fear not, I'm gonna get busy making some more Valentine's items. I really like these teacups and they're from HomeSense. I particularly like the little heart on the inside. So cute. I also bought these two little pink glass containers because I thought I could use them for other things as well, not just Valentine's Day. They also came from HomeSense and they are currently available. This Crazy Cupid soap came from our local garden centre and it was $3. And these cute tea towels came from TK Maxx. This lovely heart shape came from HobbyCraft and I'll do something with that a bit later on. Lastly, I wanted to show you these candles, also from HomeSense. A huge thank you goes to Creality for sponsoring this video, and they very kindly sent me this massive box. I am so very excited about this because inside is a laser cutter and engraver, and this one is the Falcon 2 Pro 22 watts. It comes beautifully packaged, although you do have to do a little bit of assembly yourself. It's okay because it comes with an amazing manual with pictures and illustrations. Mike and our friend Marcus immediately set about putting it all together, and I've left a bit of footage in here because I think they're quite sweet. The assembly took them about an hour and a half, and whilst they were busy with the assembly, I went straight onto my computer to start designing some bits that I could use for Valentine's Day. I'm using Adobe Illustrator to create my designs, and there's no surprise here, but of course I'm starting with some hearts. Once I'm happy with my design, I import my document into Lightburn. Lightburn is a layout, editing and control software that you're going to need for your laser cutter. And then it was time to get cutting, and this was so exciting because I can finally now make things that I really want to use for all my decorating. I mean, check these hearts out. They're just so lovely. I will be using this machine throughout this video, but thank you so much, Creality. I am so grateful. I'll be sure to leave a link to Creality in the description box below in case you're interested. And once I got started, I made loads of hearts, and I've decided to paint them all in pink, red and whites. And whilst I was sitting there painting, I thought, oh, wouldn't it be fun to make some cupids too? And that's why I love this machine so much, because if you can dream it, you can literally just go and make it. I'm just so pleased with how they turned out. They're just so cute. I decided to string all the little hearts with some jute twine, just so that I had something to hang them from. Armed with a pile of hearts, I thought it was time to get started decorating the kitchen. And I decided to start over by our windows with some of these gorgeous hearts. And I thought the cupids would look so cute on our pictures in between the windows. So I've used the red one for the bottom picture and the pink one for the top one. I have already decorated for winter, so I don't really want to change it all again. So I'm just going to add a few bits here and there. And if you haven't seen that video, I'll be sure to link that below. Our shelves here are very small, so it's very limited how much I can add. I'm also going to change very little when it comes to our tea and coffee corner. I'm just going to add a tea towel and of course those beautiful cups. I have to say I'm loving these three colours together. The red, the white and the pink. It really works. Then I got to where our cooker is and I suddenly realised that I don't actually have very much to decorate this area with. So I made some more hearts, and this time I put 2 holes in them, one on either side, because I thought it might be nice to make a garland. I'm just going to tie them all together using a bit of red ribbon. I got to admit, I'm having so much fun designing and making all these new things, and I'm not done yet. I had some plain bamboo cutting boards, so I thought a tiny little heart might just be the ticket. I really think this laser cutter and engraver from Creality would be absolutely brilliant if you're thinking of starting an Etsy shop or already have a shop. I'm certainly going to be selling all of these items in our Etsy shop. I have finished my cutting boards with a couple of coats of beeswax just to make them food safe, and just to finish them I'm adding a bit of a leather strap because I think that looks really nice. Back to my kitchen and back to the cooker area, and I'm going to start off by adding this sweet little heart dish, which I'm going to fill up with some Himalayan salt because it's pink. I'm definitely using everything I've got. On the other side of my cooker, I'm going to bring in that lovely heart chopping board, and also some other chopping boards that I had which have already got some hearts in them. Finally, I'm just going to add a pink spoon, and I think that's enough for around here because we do use our cooker. Then it was time to bring in that heart garland, and I'm going to hang it above my cooker because I think it'll work well here. And to be honest, once I'd finished hanging it up, I was so pleased. I think it adds so much colour and it's such fun. There was room to hang one more heart, and I thought I'd have a little more fun with this one. I wonder if Mike is going to notice. I'm using a bit of chalk to write this little message. Well, up it goes. And then it was time to move on to our island. Using some thicker wood, I'd also made some heart coasters, and I'm just going to place them in my little basket here on the island. They will also be available in my little Etsy shop very soon. I had this white little metal heart. I will be sure I'll link it below in case you're interested, but I thought it would look nice in my blue fern. Now this is a real plant in case you wonder, and to make it stand out a bit more I decided to add a little wooden heart in the center. So cute. By the sink, I'm just going to swap over the soap bars, and I'm loving this new pink one. For the other side of my island, I'm going to bring in this large vase. Now this is a paper mache vase, so I can't put water in it. So instead, I'm going to fill it up with some packaging and add some twigs or sticks from the garden. I always try to incorporate something from the garden when I do my new designs. And then of course I added a whole load of my little hearts that I made in the 3 different colours. I'm definitely going to hang on to these because I think they could come in quite useful if we ever had a wedding in the family. I do have 2 grown-up children, so who knows. To add a bit of balance to this big dish, I thought I should decorate the bottom too. So I'm just using the pink little glass vase or container, putting some straws in, and of course a candle. We need a candle in the kitchen. It's so cozy. And that's all I'm going to do in my kitchen for Valentine's Day. And here it comes, all finished. I hope you're enjoying this video so far, and if you are, please like, comment and subscribe because it will really help my channel. Also, I love your messages. Please keep them coming and I promise that I will reply. Considering how few bought items I've actually used in this kitchen, I think it's turned out really lovely for Valentine's Day. I mean, there's plenty of colour and hearts and love in this kitchen now. I also wanted to give you some ideas on how to set the table for Valentine's Day. So I'm kicking off by making a table runner. The standard sort of size for a table runner is 1 foot, which is 31 centimeters roughly. And that's how wide I'm going to make mine. I often choose to make table runners instead of tablecloths because it leaves me enough fabric to also make some napkins, which I did actually do with this fabric. I ended up with 8 napkins, although I'm not showing it here. As always, I zigzag around all the edges to make sure that the fabric doesn't fray, and this in turn will also mean that it will last for longer. I'm pretty old school, so I pin around the edges, although you can iron it, but I'm not a keen ironer. Once I've pinned it, I just sew a straight line around the edge. If you are new to sewing, then this is a great project to start with because effectively you're just sewing a rectangle. I really enjoy sewing because I often find that you end up with something finished very fast. I also thought it could be fun to make a sort of mobile to hang above the table, and I'm just using some cardboard paper here and some heart shapes which were free from Pinterest. I decided that the 4-inch heart and the 5-inch heart was the right sort of size for what I wanted to do. Then I set about making a template for each of the hearts and cut out loads of them. I decided that the white cardboard might be good to make some little envelopes for some love letters. So I'm literally just drawing on one side, and then on the other piece of paper I'm writing my love. And for a little extra added cuteness, I also drew a little red love heart. Then it was time to assemble them together, and I'm just using a bit of twine and a bit of glue. I'm mixing up some of the bigger hearts with some of the smaller hearts, and of course the envelopes too. I ended up making 7 of these dangly bits for my mobile, which you'll see in just a minute. There was one last little thing I wanted to do before setting the table, and I don't know if you remember these hearts. Now they are made out of metal, and I decided that I wanted to change the use of them. So first of all, I'm cutting off the bottom with the little hacksaw. Then I inserted them into some ivy plants that I bought from our garden centre, and these are real as well. And then I set about wrapping the ivy around the shape of the heart, and I'm using half the ivy on one side and the other half on the other side to make it look full. Back to the mobile that I made, and I'm starting off just by inserting a stick from the garden in between these holes on my lights, and onto it I'm literally just going to hang all the things I made out of the cardboard. So simple, but it really adds some colour over here. So let's get started on this table, and I'm beginning with a white tablecloth, which I'm going to then add my table runner to. But whilst I'm setting the table, I wanted to tell you a little bit about Mike and myself. We've been together for over 30 years, and I feel very fortunate in that I was lucky to meet the right one for me when I was quite young. We often go on date nights, and quite regularly we take little trips around the country. In fact, I've got one coming up real soon. We are both at home, but somehow that works out fine for us. And because we spend so much time together, when it comes to Valentine's Day, we tend to invite our friends and family over. Hence I'm setting the table for 8. Now back to the table setting, and I decided to just tie a knot in the napkins that I made out of the rest of the pink fabric. I added a little heart to them just to make them a bit more visually interesting. As it is Valentine's Day, we must have some candlelight, and I'm just going to use these glass containers that I've had for some time with some tea lights. I also wanted to use the fake petals that I had. These are rose petals, and I'm just using the box they came in to help me make a heart shape. What's great about these rose petals is that you can of course place your food on top, and this will definitely make Mike happy. I'm nearly finished with this table setting, but I just wanted to add a few more details, like a couple of wooden hearts into the plants and some rosemary from the garden. And for a bit of fun, I'm going to add a straw to all the water glasses. All that's left is to light some candles, and the table is finished. I didn't want to leave you without doing a little bit of baking, and this time I want to make some red velvet cupcakes. The recipe I'm using here is by Jane's Patisseries, and if you follow the recipe literally to the letter, you will end up with the most amazing tasting cupcakes. The most important thing when you do a red velvet cake is that you invest in some good food colouring. Now I'm using sugar flare, and it's really good because it doesn't leave a bitter aftertaste. I'm mixing the food colouring with the vanilla extract before I put it into my mixture. Isn't it amazing how one tiny teaspoon of food colouring can change the colour so rapidly? I carefully divide the mixture into 12 to make sure that my cupcakes come out the same size. Into the oven they go, and they'll stay in there for 20 to 25 minutes. These red velvet cupcakes taste absolutely amazing, and I will make sure that I leave the recipe in the description box below. Once my cupcakes have completely cooled, I start making the frosting. I use Philadelphia, but any soft cheese full fat will do. And then it was time for my favourite bit, the decorating. I absolutely love doing this. Presentation is everything. That's pretty much all from me today. I'm going to leave you with some videos of the finished cupcakes, and they are yummy. I hope you have a wonderful week, and I'll see you soon. Much love from London.